Hi everyone, so today I want to show you how I made this card. Now before I open it up, a few weeks ago I did this, which was the octagonal shutter card, and off the back of that I was like, oh, what other shapes could I do, what other shapes could I do? And somebody else tuned into my thoughts and thought about doing a heart one, and I was like, oh, I quite like the idea of a heart one. That sounds like a good idea. So voila, so this was the octagonal one, which I really liked actually. It came out a lot better than I expected. And this one did too. So this is my heart one. So you open it up and there's your hearts, and obviously it stands up like that. So it's a nice display. That's kind of what it looks like if you stood it up like from the front. Yeah, and you've obviously got your 3 hearts there and your 3 hearts on the other side. Gorgeous card. I really like it, and I quite like the fact that I've kept the same pattern all the way. Because sometimes on shutter cards I do like the front panels as one pattern and the side panels as another pattern, but actually I quite like just keeping it nice and simple, because then the hearts really pop. So yeah, so I really like it. I think it's really nice. I have used a die for my hearts, but as I explained in the video, there is a way around that. Okay, so I'll let my video self explain that in a minute. The papers that I've used are the same that I used for the octagonal ones. So I've used the Butterfly Kisses paper pad and the Butterfly Kisses decoupage, because I quite like the heart and I thought, well, that would go quite well. It's not the same style of heart, it's a slightly different shape, but it doesn't offend me. So and then these were the papers, and I used this one here, the pink and silver. But yeah, so hopefully you'll have a go. I'm hoping to do a live stream soon, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to warn you before I do it, because my life's quite hectic. So sometimes if I just got a spare moment, I might just do a live stream. So if you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell, then I think it will let you know if I do a live stream just ad hoc. I do want to do one. I'm not quite sure yet when I'm going to do one. I've never done one before, so my first one might be a bit ropey, so I apologise in advance. So I'm going to try it out at some point soon. It'll be during the day. It might be on a Tuesday, it might be on a Wednesday. I'm not really sure yet what I'm doing. So anyway, hit the notification bell and obviously subscribe, and then at least you won't miss out if and when I do it. Okay, so yes, anyway, so let's get into this video. Okay, so for this card you need quite a lot of things that are similar to the hexagonal one, but there are a few slight differences. So you're going to need, we'll start with the 2 base cards that are 6 by 9. So this is the same as with the hexagonal, and also 2 pieces. Now before we had 3 by 9, but these can be, as long as they're 9-inch wide, it doesn't matter too much how high they are. Okay, so it really is up to you. This one that I've got here is about 2 1/4 inches high, so I've got 2 1/4 by 9, so it really doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to stick some hearts onto it. So you just have to bear in mind that whatever height you go for, you're going to see bits of it. If you go really high, you're going to see bits of it. If you go lower, so if I went for maybe 1 inch, I'm not going to see as much of that across my heart, so I might end up cutting this down. I'm not quite sure. We will see. Regardless of what we do, you're going to need to get your scoreboard out, and you're going to score both of your 6 by 9 pieces at 1.5 inches, at 3 inches, at 6 inches, and at 7.5. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on the other one. And then once you've done that, you can put those to one side. Bring in your 2 pieces that are 9-inch long by whatever height you want to be. I'm actually going to do, I think I'm just going to do this one. I'm not going to do the other one, because I have a feeling that this is going to be too big. I'm going to have to cut it in half, I think. But whatever height they are, the length is still 9, so you still need to score at 3 inches and 6 inches, okay? And actually you might find it better to score at 3 and 6 and then cut it down the height wise, because then you've only scored once. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've actually cut it down, so it's now like 1 1/8, so it's just over an inch high. Okay, so that's, put those to one side. Then we're going to bring the 2 base card pieces in, and again you need your cutting mat and a sharp knife and a metal ruler. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler, come down that first score line, get to 1.5, and go back up by it like a 1/16. Same here, down 1.5 inches. come back up by a 16th. It just means you have a bit more clearance. Same here, down by a 1.5, back up by 16th, down by 1.5, back up by 16th. So you're literally scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 16ths down. So 1 and 7 16ths in if you want the exact measurements. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the other one. And then we're just going to cut that whole section out. So you're going to go from the one line, one little mark to the other mark. And then we're going to cut down this line and cut that whole center section out. You end up with that. So we're going to do the same again on this one. Okay, so then you've got your piece of card ready to go. So now what we need to do is just fold and burnish all of our score lines. So the first one's going to be a valley, then a mountain, valley, mountain. Now, one thing that I would advise you do, and I meant to do it this time around and didn't, was I would advise that you actually fold and burnish your score lines first before you cut out that centre section, because it just makes it a bit more sturdy and a bit easier, and you're not so likely to go all wibbly wobbly, because that's a technical term, by the way, going wibbly wobbly, because that's what can happen. So now I'm having to really line up the sides, this bit here, with the back to make sure that it doesn't go off. You don't end up with a squiffy, another technical term, you end up with a squiffy shutter guard. So I'm just going to do that, fold that one back. Okay, so you should end up with that. So that's one side. Okay, so you go valley, mountain, same on the bottom. And then the other one, you do exactly the same, and then we turn it round at the end. So I'm going to do the same again, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, so both of them are the same way at the moment. So we just need to turn that one round. So that's that way like that. And then we can go ahead and decorate. Leave the front piece for a minute. We'll come back to that in a minute. So we're going to do just the outside bits, and then we'll do that middle bit in a minute. So what we're going to need is, you are going to need two pieces, two mats that are 1 1/4 by 5 3/4, and on top of that you need two patterns that are 1 inch by 5 1/2, and they are going to go on the ends here. Then you need 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4 for mat, and 4 pattern panels that are 1 by 2 1/2. And they are going to go here like that. And then you need 8 little squares, 8 little mat squares that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and 8 pattern squares that are 1 inch by 1 inch. And they are going to fill in all the gaps. So you've got 4 on this side, and then you've got 4 on this side. Okay, I'm missing one. I've got another one somewhere, but I don't know what I've done with it. But I have got 8 anyway. Here we go. Here it is. Okay, so that's like that. And then leave these two middle ones blank for now. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. Okay, so you also then need a piece of base card that is 3 by 6 inches. You need a mat to go on top that's 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and you need a pattern piece that's 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead, stick that onto there, and then stick that onto there, and then we'll come back and I'll show you where it goes on the card. Okay, so now what we want to do, making sure that you've obviously got your card this way round, so it mirrors both panels mirror each other. You're then going to take either glue or tape, whatever works best for you, and we're going to stick, I'm going to put some glue or tape on this panel here. And then we're going to take the panel that we've just done, and it's going to go over the top of that panel like that, and stick it down. Then we flip it over, and we're going to flip this one over as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to again put some glue, and I'm going to put it on this other side. You can put it on the same, you know, section that we just did on that other piece if you want. So you can put it on here if you want to, but I'm going to put it on the actual card itself, because then I know that none of it's going to, there's no sticky bits going to peek out. And then we're just going to take this one, and it's going to go on top, and ideally it wants to marry up in the middle. But let's just have a look at the front. Yeah, that's fine. You just want to just double check on the front, just make sure you don't have anything, you know, showing here, or that you're happy with what the front looks like. See, on this bit here, I have actually got a little bit of the backing card showing through, but you're not really going to see it, to be honest, because of the hearts that are going to go across. Okay, so that's your finished base card done. Okay, so next we're going to come to the bits that go across. Now, at the beginning of the video, obviously I used the white pieces, and I actually went ahead and folded them and everything. But I've since realised that actually, because it's hearts, and you are going to see a bit of the heart underneath, not the heart, you're going to see a bit of the strip underneath, I thought it was better to go with the matte. So I've actually disregarded these, so they'll be used for something else. And I've cut myself out 2 matte pieces that are 1 inch by 9 inches. And these will go across the middle here. So we need to valley fold and mountain fold. So one valley fold, and then the other fold is a mountain. Okay, so you're basically concertinaing them. So that's that one, and we'll do the same on this side. So you end up with that. So you end up with 2, so that goes valley, mountain, and this one goes mountain, valley. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stick them on. So you can eye up, you can either eye it up or you can actually measure it. I'm going to eye it and just see roughly where it is. In fact, let me just have a look at this. Oh yeah, they fit fine. So actually you could make them a little bit higher if you wanted to. Now I'm going to make it go halfway. I think halfway is better. So also, just incidentally, I've cut out, I've used nesting dies. Now if you haven't got nesting dies and you might have a punch, you could use that. If you haven't and you feel confident to do a freehand heart and then cut that out, you could do that. Or even if you've got a die cut one already, just like, you know, like a pre-done die cut, and you feel like you can trace it and do it, you can do that. So basically I've just cut out 6 of the white, 6 of the purple, which is slightly smaller, and 6 of the pattern. Okay, so I've just cut these out, and then we're going to stick these on in a moment. So let's go ahead and stick our strips on first. So as I was saying, halfway, and I'm just going to make a little mark, pencil mark on here, and then I know that is kind of where the glue needs to go up to. And the same on this side. Now I'm not going to see that pencil because that's going to be over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to find halfway on this pattern piece here, and we're going to start from the center and work our way out. I think that might be the best way of doing it. So the center on here, top to bottom, is 3 inches, which is here. Okay, now we've got ½ an inch either side because it's 1 inch wide, my strip. So that is where it needs to be. And if I do the same up this end as well, so 3 inches is halfway, which is there. ½ an inch either side is there and there. Okay, so that's roughly where my strip's going to come to. And the same on this side here. Halfway is 3 inches. Let me get somewhere I can see. Halfway is 3 inches, which is here. Half is there and there. Okay, so I've now got a little mark, top and bottom, so my strip should come, the top of it and the bottom of it should come there. So at least I can sort of see where I'm going with that. I wanted the little bubbly things to be facing up, not down. So let's turn it around. So I'm just going to bring my strip in. Here it is. And I'm actually going to put tape straight onto there. Now I would use glue, but I'm going to go with red tape just because I want it to be stuck straight away. I don't want to be faffing around with it, you know, not sticking properly. So I'm just going to grab my scissors, and then we're just going to put a line of tape along there like that. Not very straight, but anyway. Oops. And then another line just there like that. There we go. And we'll do the same in the middle. Okay, so I've just put some red tape, as you can see, across that centre section, and then left and right. Now hopefully that's going to fit. Yep. So you just need to make sure you don't go too close to that line, because as you can see that's quite tight. Okay, so with that like that, I am going to start on this left hand side, I think, just because I don't want to start and end up too far over and then not have enough this side. So I'm going to take the tape off, and I'm going to put this on, making sure obviously you've got the valley fold. It's going to be like that, and then I'm just going to bring it over here and make sure it's in line, and then stick that down. So that's now stuck. And now with it folded, in fact I might actually just fold this up, because it needs to fold flat in the envelope. So it's best, I think, to fold it and then stick it the last piece down. So I'm going to just fold this back, but I'm not going to fold it back all the way. Just going to fold it and crease it, and as you can see it's pinging back on itself. So this is why I try and fold it out of the way. So with that like that, we're going to stick that down there like that. Okay, so that's happy. Then, and this is quite thin card, you can probably see it bowing a little bit. Can you see it's sort of, it's not very stable, but it's fine, because once I've put these on, it should be happy. It might be that it's still a little bit too flimsy for it. We will find out. We will find out. So we are going to get our next strip, and again make sure that coming from the right into the left, we start with a valley fold. Then I'm going to just line this up with the kind of the stripe on my board, just to kind of help me out with getting this lined up. So I think it's going to be about there, and then let me bring this into here about there like that. Yeah, that's fine. And then we are going to fold this up like that, and then we're going to stick this down, and that should mean hopefully these two pretty much meet in the middle. I have a feeling there's a slight overlap. No, it's not too bad. There's literally like maybe an 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch overlap there, but it's not too bad. Right, so then once we've done that, as you can see, they are bowing a bit. You see how they're not very stable, but that's fine, because you either use a thicker card, or you hopefully won't matter, because you're going to be sticking these on, and these are going to make it a bit more, you know, a bit more stable. So these hearts that I've got, now you want to make sure that you don't go any higher than, I think it's 3 inches. Let me just measure this. Yeah, you've got 3 1/8 of an inch gap between the top of that and the bottom of that. So you just need to make sure that it fits within that. The hearts that I've chosen are approximately 2 3/4. That's absolutely fine. And then width wise, again, no bigger than 3 inches. And the hearts that I've got are 2 3/4. So again, that's fine. So we're going to have a bit of a gap in between each one, but I don't mind that. So I'm just going to go ahead now and stick these on. And I think what I'm going to do is with each one, just make a little bit of a, just kind of draw around them a little bit, so we know where to put the glue. Okay, so I've stuck the hearts down. One good thing about hearts is when you come to this one, this one, this one, and this one, you can literally line up the middle of the heart and the bottom of the heart with that line, and the same with here. So that works really well. And then obviously it just concertinas down like that, but it's quite a nice wow when you open it up. It's like, ooh, wow. Then in the middle, what I'm going to use is I've got this, which actually goes with the happy birthday. So I think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to matte and layer it on. And the happy birthday on the top. Okay, so I just took the sentiment that I had, I've just put it onto some white card and just hand cut round it. And then that is going to go on the front there, and I'm going to put it on pads just so it's slightly raised up. Obviously we're kind of skewing these two, and I made sure that I put the plainer pattern hearts there because they've got flowers on and they've got a little butterfly on, so I just thought it doesn't matter so much if I hide that one. So I'm going to go ahead now, stick this down with pads, and then I'm going to stick that one with pads on the front. Okay, so there's the finished card, and obviously you could add extra fluff in, you could add extra bling, you could do what you want. It stands up like that. I actually really like the hearts. I'm actually really impressed with this card, I have to say. I wasn't sure how well it was going to come out, but it has come out quite nice, quite nicely. So yeah, so that's how it goes, and then it folds down flat, and this will fit in an envelope for 6x6. So this actually measures exactly 6 inches by 6 inches. So yeah, it's nice. Obviously I've got a little bit of, I've put pads on this bit here, so there's a little bit of wodge there. It's not too bad, but it's a kind of a showstopper card that you'd give somebody maybe for a special birthday. You could even maybe put big numbers in the middle there if you wanted it to be like, you know, 30th or whatever, or good for a happy anniversary card, good for a Mother's Day card. I mean, you know, it's good for anything, isn't it? You could even do it as a get well card. It's just a really showstopper card. So yeah, so I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.